Hi, my name is Patrick Wood, and today I'm going to speak to you about the ancient African medicine and how it's practiced, how the research of hydrocephalus in Africa is being conducted, and how it will be revolutionized in the world. So firstly, the history. In Africa, around 80% of people use traditional medical systems for much or all of their health care. And this is so incredible because, I mean, that 80% is just a giant chunk of how many people that don't actually use more modern practices. So the practice of medicine in ancient African cultures has gone back to the beginning. And in a quote from Francis Grollig and Harold Harley's Medical Anthropology, it says, the medicine man is the jack of all trades, but the master of none, which is very true because the medicine man was back in the ancient day, very, like, everybody went to them for their problems, and whether it be like I have a cut on my hand or I don't feel good, and they would try to heal the person, but many times it was just futile. And in ancient Africa, they used tib, which means medicine in Arabic, and it dates from the early Islamic period, and Unani means Greek. So Unani means Greek. So Unani tib refers to the tradition. It's Greek medicine, and it's been used in Africa. And this was based on early Greek medicine, and it was used by the Muslims and the Christians and the Jewish scholars. And many African traditions share similar characteristics, several spiritual and physical aspects. So the spiritual and physical aspects are they are directly correlated in African culture. And the causes of illness, they believe, range from spirit intervention or family problems or community conflict. And they believe all these can cause illnesses. And in treating an illness, the whole community is involved. And treatment is through medicines, physical treatments, or a ritual. And these rituals are often they've been going on for thousands of years, so they're very, very ritualistic, and they last very long. So a community basically gathers to sing, dance, and perform rituals for the ill person. And in a quote from ncbi.gov, medicine men practice largely by suggestion, incantations, charms, and strange remedies, but with their knowledge of herbs and roots, they often discovered, perhaps by serendipity, a number of effective indigenous drugs, which is incredible because although they did do several rituals and chants to exorcise like demons and the spirits out of the person, they did have knowledge of medicine that would help the person. So now I'm going to tell you about hydrocephalus and how it was treated in ancient Africa and how it's being treated there now. So I know some of you, probably most of you don't know what hydrocephalus is. And hydrocephalus is an abnormal accumulation of cerebrospinal fluid in the ventricles of the brain. And this is important to me just because my sister has this disease, and it's been really prevalent in my life. So let me tell you about how it's treated. Hydrocephalus is treated with a shunt here in the United States, and I'll pass around this bear. I know it's kind of childish, but it shows you where the shunt is in the head and how it goes down into the abdominal cavity. So the shunt regulates the flow of the cerebrospinal fluid from the ventricles of the brain into the abdominal cavity, where it's reabsorbed through the bloodstream. And in ancient Africa, this was because the person with hydrocephalus, their head tends to swell, and their head tends to swell, and they believe that there were demons possessing the person, so they would often burn their head or cut it open, and they usually die of infection. So in Africa, there are 100,000 to 375,000 new cases of hydrocephalus diagnosed in sub-Saharan Africa each year. And this is just incredible because it's so many people and they don't have the means to treat this. So what they're doing is called third ventriculoscomies, where they poke holes in certain areas of the brain to allow the cerebrospinal fluid to flow better. And this procedure would not be approved in the United States because it's risky. But in Africa, because they don't have a lot of follow-up appointments, and they don't have a lot of neurosurgeons either, so they have to take drastic measures, and it's actually a lot better than using a shunt. It's really helping these children out and these adults, and it can, it eventually will reach the United States and revolutionize how hydrocephalus is treated. So I told you about how the African medicine was practiced in ancient Africa, and how hydrocephalus was also practiced, and how the treatment of hydrocephalus now will be revolutionized because of how it's been treated there. Thank you very much.